Hello, everybody. I want to see if this is doing any. Let me see if I got a little something. I don't think it's doing it. Let's go into a little Trump shouting USA. Let's see if we can do it while people are getting started. Oh, it says mute. Unmute. Yeah. Okay. While we're getting warmed up. Isn't that great? Don't you love when Trump shouts USA? What a just a little start to that. Welcome, everybody, to another issue of Trump Talk US. It's your girl, Suzzanne Monk. Coming live from just 20 minutes outside the Capitol, 20 minutes to the Capitol from where I live. So we're right here in the D.C. area, in the swamp, and trying to keep you guys updated on all the stuff that's going on around the country and with our great president. So let's talk first. Trump is home. Oh my God, I love when he's home. Don't you get nervous when he's not home? I get a little nervous when he's out, but he does so well overseas. The speeches he gives, the receptions he's receiving from these other countries across the globe, amazing. It really shows you how much there's an agenda here in the United States to make Trump look bad, because the way he's treated overseas is actually like a great leader. So I love seeing him go overseas, but it does make me a little nervous. And I do like having him home here, helping us solve the problems we have in all of our backyards. Aren't we always? We are always praying to make sure he's safe, and to make sure we're safe, supporting him too at the same time, because Lord help us all. It's certainly a rough go of it. We are certainly have to stand strong against a lot of haters. And interestingly, that's what makes it interesting about watching him in other countries. They're not all here. You know, most of them are here. I mean, they're here. Most of the haters, the rest of the world doesn't hate him nearly as much as they keep telling us, is what I'm saying. So Trump is back. He had some great speeches overseas, in Vietnam, the Philippines he was at. You should Google all the speeches. Go on to whitehouse.gov. All the hate. Josh always has to come home to all this anger. And, there's this infighting within, not infighting within the Trump people, infighting in the government with itself. You know, the Republican Party, obviously we're going to talk about Roy Moore a little bit more, because there's some new developments a little bit more in a minute. But just watching the politicians eat their own constantly and trying to eat their own, the same thing with Hollywood. Red carpet everywhere he went. Nobody made him climb out the backside of the plane at all. He's highly respected. He was respected in Saudi Arabia. He was respected in Israel. He was just out everywhere he goes. What's his face? The French boy. I forget his own name. Macron, is it? He was very gracious. Everyone's very gracious. Everyone loves Trump, except for these little batch of Trump haters and leftists and paid Soros bots who are continuing that hateful narrative. So Trump is back safe and sound. I think he did some great things. We have some great new trade deals. We are negotiating with China, China is one of our major trade partners. It's so important that we are actually talking effectively, economically with the nation of China. Working with China is going to do far more than working against it. And I still don't know why it does that in and out thing. It's really annoying. Maybe because I use my hands too much when I talk. So Donald Trump did some great work over there. The left media, the mainstream leftist media, is certainly upset that he went and talked to China. Facebook wants to report me there's something wrong. Yeah, of course they do. Thanks for letting me know, Kathleen. Thanks for letting me know. And seriously, his speech in South Korea, talking to the Korean people, who he understands the struggle of the Korean Peninsula in the first place, and can speak to those people wanting reunification with their families, and with an end to this battle. And frankly, the people in North Korea are suffering viciously under Kim Jong-un. We all know it. And we've had many administration for many years who has just accepted appeasement constantly. Let's just ignore them. Let's just, we'll still send them money. It's okay. And we all know that this is how it just escalates the situation when you let people get away with more and more. So I, for one, am so proud of having a president that is willing to stand up and say, no, we don't really take his crap. Okay. It's one thing to let him run his own country, but we're also not taking his crap. And it's very important. And I love when the president tweets his little Rocket Man tweets, because there's an art of negotiation and being a just sincere speaker that we have not understood in politics in a long time. Everyone is so stinted and so focus grouped that they just don't understand somebody actually using emotional intelligence. You guys should read about this. There's many books we had to study in college, emotional intelligence, about learning how to speak to people, the art of conversation and controlling the conversation. Donald Trump is doing that very well, and he does it in tweets as well. And people refuse to understand, or really they do understand. That's why they get upset. And that's why they're like, oh no, we shouldn't do that. They get upset because they understand it's actually an effective form of communication to mock somebody who you want to control. They understand that. And so they're mad because they don't want Trump to control things. And so that's why they're upset about it. They're not upset because it makes Trump look bad. They just say that, oh, it makes him look bad. It makes everybody look bad. It makes us look strong. And they don't want us to be strong. And that's why they make it, say it makes them look bad. So if you are watching, get a chance to share so we can get people tuning into the show, because we're going to keep talking about the news, you guys. I'm going to try to boil down a lot of the things that are going on, or at least some of the key things that people are interested in on a daily basis, or every other day, as daily as possible, so that you guys can keep informed, and we can kind of get I'm going to give you kind of this the straightest part of the story, give you as much information as I can, throw my opinions in as need be, but try not to give you the crazy, oh my gosh, scandalous freak outside. We're not going to wear tinfoil hats, but I do want to share what I can perceive as, verifiable information about what's happening in our country, what's happening with our president. So Trump, safe and sound, is planning to do a big, if you might have heard from his tweets, I hope you're all following at Real Donald Trump. If you are not, if you are on Twitter and you're not following the president, I don't know what you're doing. Please go to the president's page, click the little button, get notifications, get them sent to your phone, retweet them shits. You guys, we need to be retweeting the president all the time. It's an easy breezy, easy thing to do. It gets sent right to your phone. Oh, the president tweeted. And yay, you get to read what the president tweeted. And B, you click retweet, and now you're helping inform people. So important to share what the president is saying. So important. Now, so he's going to have a big speech coming up. He said in his tweets in the next, since he's back, I don't think he gave a date. I'd have to check. Read the tweets. Go to the tweets. Find it in the tweets. You can find it yourself and share it in the comments. Yep, they are just totally jealous, Yvette. They're totally jealous. He is actually kicking ass. It's 100%. They're jealous of Melania's shoes, you guys. The shoes. I'm thinking of somehow making a t-shirt with Melania's shoes on it, just so we can, mock them, because it triggers snowflakes, Wait, I am going to be creating a line of trigger tees that you wear that just trigger snowflakes. So I will keep you posted on that. I was not surprised to see him welcome across Asia either. He's been welcome around the globe because he speaks. Everybody knows that a strong American economy that's willing to trade with them, willing to negotiate better deals, is actually someone who they can do better business with. It's always better to do business with a strong, honest businessman than it is with a shady one that kisses your ass. Always. She really is Melania is the most beautiful first lady in history. I would agree. She's gorgeous. Who doesn't love Melania? Okay, so keep out an eye for the Trump the speech. I'm going to post on my page when I get a chance to get off of here. I'm going to post when the president plans to be speaking. Trigger cheese, Kathleen, they're coming. They're coming. Trigger cheese, exactly. Because I know everybody triggering is my pastime. So, and I know you guys are the same. So we're going to have some t-shirts that help you do that. Why not? Of course. And it's a great way to support the show and support all the work I'm doing here in DC, which I hope people are interested in supporting that because it's not cheap living here, boys. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Roy Moore case and its recent developments because it never ends with these establishment. Hello, Janet. It never ends with these establishment goombas on either side of the aisle. The Roy Moore case continues. Now, Roy Moore has issued multiple statements and actually has issued legal letters, legal documentation to initiate defamation lawsuits against news organizations in Alabama if they do not retract the false stories that they have reported about him. So he's also has also decided to sue the Washington Post. Lawsuits are happening. Everybody who said if he really if he really didn't do those things and they're saying that he did, he should sue them. So he is. The problem is you guys don't understand that this is a tactic used in a specific time frame right before the election. They did it to Herman Cain. They did it to Donald Trump. It didn't work for Donald Trump. It worked on Herman Cain. It is literally specifically timed so you do not have time to initiate a lawsuit to defend yourself, and you do not have time to negate the charges with evidence, to actually refute the charges with evidence. You don't have time. They try to, it's going to get down to like literally 4 days before. They're going to do it 4 days before the actual election. They're still at a month before, but this is the time frame. They have it a month before so they can keep rolling it out. So it seems like, oh, it's just a pattern of information, okay? Well, interestingly enough, the pattern of information is immediately unraveling, and I want to congratulate everybody out there on the Trump train. All of you Trumpers out there, you're doing great work. Pat yourselves on the back right now. If you participated yesterday in sharing the information about the signature analysis, demonstrating how the yearbook signature that is being used as evidence is most likely fraudulent. The people who got out there and started sharing the evidence and the information about the old Hickory House, which was not even in business until 2005, so therefore was not some place that she worked when she was 16 in 1977, because it didn't exist. Did not exist as a business. So we immediately, within a 24-hour period, debunked her whole story. Exactly. The train is great. You guys are doing a great job. Good job, train. It took us 24 hours. But see, that's what I'm saying about the timing. It still takes us 24 hours. Sometimes it takes us 48 hours to get the information sorted out and debunk a story. I mean, we're still ripping apart the whole Vegas massacre. there's still a lot of things that haven't all been sorted out. We're debating about. But the Judge Moore accusers, we vetted quickly and in very rational, verifiable ways. I mean, the Alabama business records, whoever looked that up, brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Share, you guys. Share so much. Also, I want to talk about the stepson of the latest accuser coming out and making a public statement about his mother-in-law lying about her accusations of Judge Moore. There's a great video going around about the stepson making a public statement and offering his support to Judge Moore and offering to make public statements that certainly vindicate Judge Moore. So it's a great video. It's very you can tell the man is frustrated as hell. And you can also get an understanding, kind of it's a great snapshot of Alabama and what the people in Alabama think of somebody who they literally grew up with this man as a judge, someone in the community, someone known. And so it's to have these allegations come out now at the last minute, to feel what Alabamans are feeling, which is this guy, why didn't we know before this, is very prevalent in the mindset of Alabamans. And so it's great for us across the country to be able to share the information that's really happening. And I know everyone got upset because Hannity and Tucker thought maybe he was guilty. You guys, the great thing about the train is really we when you agree with us, we're like, okay, yeah, you agree with us. Morning, Penny. Yeah, you agree with us. When you don't agree with us, we're like, whatever. We don't care about you. So whatever. We don't care if Hannity thinks that he's guilty, because we've all seen the evidence that in our hearts lets us know that this is an operation being operated against someone who has a very strong outsider candidacy and a sincere possibility of winning the seat. And that's really what the problem is. Okay, I'm going to look it up, Lori. And yeah, there's a lot of, this is what, we're going to talk about that when I talk about states races, because we're going to talk about that in just a second, because we're starting to make a list. I'm building a list of all the pro-Trump candidates that are running across the country. And the impeachment issue, Lori, that you want to talk about is exactly why that is so important, because we don't want to give the Democrats the ability to enact their stupid, ridiculous, absurd plan, which of course has no merit, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to try to do it. I mean, if Democrats only did things that had merit, we'd have a whole different decade. I can guarantee you that. So the Roy Moore case, Roy Moore continues to do very well in the polls in Alabama. No matter the number of celebrities that have come out against him, there's a significant number of people still supporting him, and the polls are showing that. And he still is very likely to win the race. We got to keep getting the information out. It's very important. But they're very upset. The establishment is very upset. They are upset because they don't want a Steve Bannon-supported outsider candidate up here in Washington actually enacting the agenda. And the Republicans are happy. The Democrats will put their mother under the bus, and the Republicans are happy to hand the House back over to the Democrats if it means they don't have to enact the Trump agenda. Mitch McConnell is happy to hand it back. Paul Ryan is happy to hand it back. They're not going to fight for these candidates the way we need to. So it's so important that we focus on the state's races. So I've written down some candidates. Roy Moore, obviously, in Alabama. We've talked about him. And we will continue to talk about his race because it's coming up. Because it's a replacement race for Jeff Sessions this way. It's unique. But coming up also is Corey Stewart, who is running here in Virginia, just across the way. And running against will be running against Tim Kaine should he obtain the nomination. Where he's a pro-Trump, former Trump chairman, is running on an openly Trump agenda. That's an openly pro-Trump platform. A candidate who is saying, I am running so that I can support the Donald Trump agenda, which is what we patriots need. We worked very hard to get Donald Trump elected. We need to support the candidates that we need. And of course, Paul Nehlen was in Wisconsin. I know, I wish I could. Now it's just upside down. That makes it even worse. Paul Nehlen in Wisconsin. I'm going to try to learn to write backwards, Kathleen. I'm going to try to learn to do that. Great candidate from Wisconsin. He ran against Paul Ryan. He is running again against Paul Ryan. I've had many opportunities to speak with Paul Nehlen, and he is such a great man of integrity and sincerely passionate about making this country great again and about enacting conservative and libertarian principles. So I totally think that Ed Gillespie lost because he didn't get the enthusiasm of the Trump voter. Look, Virginia's a blue state. It's predominantly blue because of the urban areas, and it leans blue. It is what it is. In order to flip a state, you have to get enthusiasm. There's no enthusiasm in the establishment Republican voter and party. We all know that. There's so many of you that have come from establishment Republican party groups, organizations. And you all go to these things where that's why they haven't been thriving. I know I came from Illinois. It's exactly the same thing. What added enthusiasm, what added excitement, what made people ready to get out and come to the polls? Trump. So if you're not encouraging the Trump voter to come out, of course you're not going to do well. And you're certainly not going to do well in blue states that you need to flip. So, but I think that the Republican establishment is going to be happy to lose to the Democrats are going to be happy to lose if it means not enacting the Trump agenda. So it's why we need so much to, obviously we need to do some great work with election protection. We need to make sure we get voter ID laws. We need to make sure that we're investigating voter fraud. Hey, Joas. We need to, exactly. We need to make sure that we are eliminating the methods by which predominantly the Democrats, but the Republican establishment too, can manipulate the vote. But we also need to make sure that we get out there and support the candidates and drag our Republican friends to support the candidates that actually are supporting the Trump agenda. The people that elected Donald Trump, we elected Donald Trump because of the fact that we needed our country to get jobs back. We needed our trade deals fixed. We needed to have our economy repaired with an enthusiasm and an excitement and an understanding of economics and business. We needed our tax rates lowered. We needed our jobless numbers to come down. We needed employment to go up. Many of these things already happening just based on the enthusiasm people have about having a business person, someone who understands the economy and understands how it affects the small, medium, and large business owner in the White House. Just that enthusiasm alone has done great things for the stock market. It's done great things for job creation. It's done great things across the country for people's general enthusiasm on business investment and building businesses. So there's enthusiasm itself is creating a bump in the economy. And if we have to make sure that we get the next bump, which is the tax cuts, which is the healthcare reform that is so needed, which is all of this stuff that we know Donald Trump wants and we know we want. That you're welcome, Kimberly, and I'm going to keep growing that list of candidates running that support President Trump. It's so important that we are helpful to these candidates and lend our social network, our national network to these candidates to help them fundraise, to help them get the support they need, and to share the information when they get these attacks. We are doing a lot of good to help the case of Judge Moore by sharing the information that opposes these obviously false allegations. So we're helpful wherever we are. I'm out here in DC. I'm helping somehow an election happening in Alabama. We're helping. We can do that from right here in our homes, but we can do it nationwide, and it's so important that we keep doing that. So I will continue to share. I will continue to share the cases as we go, the different state races across the country. So important to because the establishment is going to continue to fight us. They're going to fight every one of these candidates, lies, smears, and misinformation. So as far as if you are in my area, I keep forgetting to mention this. If you're in my area, Corey Stewart, they're having a fundraiser meet and greet with the MAGA Meetups people tomorrow night, Thursday, tomorrow night. I will post that link on my Facebook page again today, and it is on my Twitter right now as my pinned post. You can go to @Trumpertarian, @Trumpertarian, like libertarian, but put Trump in front of it. Easy. Trumpertarian. Right there on Twitter, and it's my pinned post. So come out. It's $100, but it's open bar, appetizers, and we're going to be hanging out with Corey Stewart and getting to, get to know a pro-Trump candidate right here in Virginia. So I'm excited about that. And you are all welcome and invited. I also want to talk about a little bit some of the groups that I'm moderating for here in the Washington, D.C. area. I'm moderating for Bikers for Trump, the official Bikers for Trump. So if you are in the D.C. area and you would like to join Bikers for Trump Washington, D.C., please send me a little message. Certainly, you don't have to ride a bike. You don't have to own a bike. But you do have to support the president. And we certainly want to grow the membership and get people on the Facebook group and start sharing a lot of what people are doing and getting a lot more information and using that as more of a vehicle. We're a very small group right now. And so that's why they've sent me in here to rally up the people. So if you are in DC, give me a hoot. And certainly I'll send you a link to the group. Also, if you are part of the Overpasses group, or if you're not part of it, if you don't know about Overpasses for America, you should totally know about this already. They're a great group, and they do active patriot work. So we go out, wave flags on the overpasses, wave flags at sporting events, showing their support for the president, support for the United States, and for, for liberty everywhere. So it's great. Love, love, love. The Overpasses for America. I'm part of Overpasses for America, and I'm moderating Overpasses for America, the Swamp, which is this East Coast region. So if you're in the East Coast region, connect with me there, and we're gonna have a lot of outside, a lot of activities online, but also, we're gonna go down to the National Mall. We're gonna meet up at places. I'm going to be able to share all of the flag waving activities around this area so people can get out and show our patriotism. Because I know we talked about yesterday, so important to continue to show our support for the president and our support for the country to enhance patriotism across the country, to make people feel, yes, look, patriots are out here enjoying the country. That enthusiasm is something we can create. We can create that simply by going down to a busy street or going down to an overpass, waving some flags, showing support for just being patriotic Americans, happy to be here. It really does so much. And you think it doesn't, but that's one of the things I love about Overpasses. And so, the Overpasses People Fred has done such great, been so supportive of sharing my, when I do live videos at the Capitol, or I do live videos at MOAR, he's all across wherever we've been. He's done a great job of sharing that, and they're a great network of people. So if you're in the area, if you are in the group, make sure you join the Swamp group. And if you are not in the group, hit me up. I'll send you some links. I'm going to talk a little bit about the shooting in California. They're going to use this, obviously, as an opportunity to complain about gun control. But the situation is that the guy was actually kind of losing it already. Had been in feud with his neighbors. He was shooting his gun off a lot. He had been arrested a month or so ago for stabbing a neighbor and was out on bail. So it's interesting. The question might be, not do we need more rules to control guns? Why would someone who has just been out for stabbing, why does he, is he supposed to have all the guns? And yes, maybe so, maybe not. I don't know what the law is. He's innocent until proven guilty. These are all factors we have to take into place. But he was kind of shooting his guns a lot around the neighborhood and had many signs of snapping. So I think once again, we find that the thing we need control for, the thing we need help with, is mental health issues. Mental health issues are what is causing a lot of these shootings, also the deep state and potential, false flags. Well, I don't know about false flag. It's not really false. Like they say in The Long Kiss Goodnight, it's really kind of hard to fake these things. You have to do it for real. It's not really a false flag. What we mean by false flag is that a deep state or, dark ops operation. So, wow, they had a shooting at Applebee's in New Jersey, and it's been 16 years. Thomas, I was talking with, I do Facebook back and forth with Hawk Newsom, who is the head of the New York Black Lives Matter, who came and spoke at MOAR. I still communicate with him because I think that communication is important. Even when we don't agree, the answer to speech we don't agree with is more speech. And so I continue with more speech with Mr. Newsom. And he presented to me several proposals of what their group is trying to get happening as far as handling, different ways to address our communities. And one thing he did was show me a celebration of a community who had a full year of nonviolence, or a period of time that they had been nonviolent, and they celebrated that. And I think we need to do that across the country. So, and that you mentioned that you had a break in such a successful period of time where there was no shootings, is sad. And I think that in places, we need to actually be celebrating that. We need to be more aware of how successful and safe our communities are, and really honoring that. Not, when we celebrate something, we honor it. And when we honor it, we repeat it. When we celebrate something, we honor it. And when we honor it, we repeat it. That's why we have parades, because we want to repeat and honor the things we're having parades for. That's the point of celebrations. So when we celebrate our success every year of being a safe community, we honor it. And when we honor it, we keep doing it. And it's a way that we teach young people instinctively how to be better citizens, by honoring positive things the community is doing and is succeeding in. So Unfortunately, in a situation like out in California, the community... Bob's mad at me because I wear the flag. Bob, I want to just read. Bob says, the flag should never be used as wearing apparel, bedding, or drapery. It should never be festooned, drawn back or up in folds, but always allowed to fall free. It's fine. To be fair, this is a scarf that's striped and a scarf that's starred. So it's... But I wear the flag, and I'm always going to wear the flag. And I appreciate why people want to have, a very rigid following of the rules of handling the flag. And I certainly don't wear it out of any disrespect. And if people think I wear the flag out of disrespect, I can't help you. I cannot help you, because I wear the flag because I love the flag. And I think it's important to wear the flag, to wear the United States symbol as a symbol of supporting your country. When we see another patriot wearing the flag, I feel proud. When I see somebody wearing a shirt that has the flag on it, or has red, white, and blue, I see that as a person who says, I'm proud of my country. I'm proud of the people who have served for my country. I am proud of the people who have served my country now in law enforcement capacity, in military capacity, in medical capacity. The EMTs also so important. There's a lot of people. I'm very proud of all these people, and that's what wearing the flag means. And it also lets everybody know that I support my president. When I put this flag on, what I'm saying is I'm happy with America. I'm happy with the United States. And by happy, I mean I'm happy we have President Trump. So I'm going to wear the flag. And if it offends somebody who wants me to follow Hoyle, I don't know who has the flag rules, then okay. They'll be mad and they'll get over it, because I'm not going to stop doing it. So on that note, my point, to just finish up about the California shooting and about mental health issues, is that we need to actually start assessing how we're handling mental health. And if we're not handling, thank you, Thomas, I will. If we're not handling the mental health issues of individuals, and we're not seeing the red flags, one of the things that they always say is, oh, we didn't see any red flags. Well, this guy, there was like a ton of red flags. You guys, he was shooting bullets off in the air for weeks beforehand. And no one was seeing the red flags, apparently. And then he went and shot up his community. So 4 people killed, more than a dozen injured, because apparently even when we have the red flags, nobody notices the red flags. So instead of just screaming at the left every time they go gun control, and the left every time they, hey, you guys stop screaming gun control, how about if we scream, what are we going to do about people with mental illness? What are we going to do about reading these red flags? What does having a red flag mean, and what are we going to do about the red flags legally as a society? What are we going to do criminally as a society? What can we do? This is the conversation we need to have that we never have, and we keep needing to have it. What are we going to do about mental health? What are we going to do about people who are angry and freak out and go insane and snap? And when we have red flags, what are we going to do about the red flags that lead? We want to be able to prevent these instances. We have to figure out what to do about the red flag. So, Bob, I know you didn't make the rules, but I don't care. Okay? Send somebody to arrest me for wearing the flag. I'm going to keep wearing it. I'm sorry it bothers you, but it doesn't bother me that it bothers you. I don't care. Flag. I'm going to wear the flag. Keep the flag on my wall. I'm going to keep Trump over here. See? Exactly. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to keep this little red flag scarf here, because I put that in my hair. Put the flag in my hair. I got my Gadsden flag. I got my rainbow Gadsden flag. I got my Keck. So we're going to keep all the flags. That's how we're going to do it. Just how it's going to be. And if anybody doesn't like it, I'll tell you. Sorry. So I wanted to just review a few things that we need to do today. If you get a chance, go out and share the newest video from the stepson and the Roy Moore case. I want you to go out and share some of the speeches from Donald Trump in Asia. There were some great speeches, some great trade deals. It's important that we get a chance to share those. I also want you to go check out the candidates. Check out and share Roy Moore's page itself, his actual candidate page. We're so busy talking about the scandals, we're not talking about the candidate. And we're not talking about the issues at all. Do you notice how when the Democrats attack you like this, right before the election, all of a sudden we're not talking about the issues. So all of those last minute voters, all those voters who wait till the last month before they actually decide what they're going to do or even care to listen, you know, all of those people, they don't know what's going on. All they know there's a bunch of scandal because we're not even talking about what the candidate supports. So go to the page, read his platform. Let's go back to talking about platforms. How about that? Also, Corey Stewart's page, Corey Stewart in Virginia. Corey Stewart for VA is his Twitter. CoreyStewart.com. Also PaulNalin.com. Great, great candidates. We should be checking out. I've met Corey Stewart. I've met Paul Nalin. And I'm a fan of both. They're certainly the kind of people we need to put up here in Washington. Get this swamp drained. That's, as I said yesterday, I'm going to say every day until we do it. That's what draining the swamp means. Draining the swamp means replacing these lifer rhino candidates that have been sitting up here. You know, they're Republican in name only, and I say that because they don't support our republic. A Republican is supposed to support the republic. And what the Republicans on the Hill do is support themselves and their oddly right-wing progressive agenda. So we don't like that. That's a Republican, a supporter of the Republic in name only. So that's why I call them all rhinos up here. And we need to replace them with people who actually are supporting the Republic and actually want to make America, the Republic, great again. So get out there on those candidates. And I will, as always, I'm going to keep posting the list. Send me any ideas for trigger t-shirts you'd like, trigger tees. I got to oil this chair. Any ideas you come up with for t-shirts that would trigger snowflakes. I'm taking suggestions and special requests. So that's the MAGA report for today, you guys. That's what's happening around the world. We're happy to have Trump back here in the United States. The tax reform thing is going, and oh, Lori was talking about the impeachment things, and I just wanted to mention that before I get off. That's why we need to win all these races, you guys. We can't hand the Democrats over we can't hand the Democrats over the keys to their little impeachment fantasy day, okay? So, in order to do that, we need to win in these races. That's why it's so important. Their impeachment ideas are insane and irrelevant if they don't have power. So, it's our job to prevent them from getting power. So let's keep up the good work, you guys. I will see you guys most likely tomorrow. Noon is starting to feel good, but I make no promises because I don't know. We're still settling in here in the DC area. 20 minutes from the Capitol building, about 25 minutes from the White House, from Donald Trump's house, where he is working right now to make America great again. Thanks, Trumpy. Thanks, everybody watching, and I will see you again. Please share this video if you get a chance, and share our page, Trump Talk US. We're going to be giving you the news from right here, Swamp Adjacent. MAGA on, from your girl.